1 click equals 1 broken dream. So this capybara is in for a pretty rough day. We've quickly saved up $100, so we've upgraded our clicking to 3 per click. And I think he's put shoes on at this point. He's ready to run away. I wonder what other kind of fun stuff he's going to put on. For $110, we can buy an auto click, so now we're making 1 capybara per second. We're going to buy 2 of those, 2 per second. Now I can retire. And we have all sorts of fun clothes, like an orange on his head. But we're not here for that. We're here to make numbers much bigger. I feel like a lot of our numbers are going to come from clicking today, so I'm going to upgrade that many times, and he's turned red. That's probably the least of his problems, though. 7 per click.
I like the way he shakes when I touch him.
The meter's getting full for the first time ever, so things are getting psychedelic, and he's even gonna dance. Plus, he changed his shoes. And it looks like we're getting double income. If you're confused by this, join the club. See, the problem now is I can't stop clicking or I'm gonna lose the bonus, but free stuff drew my attention. For $750, I can get 5 per click, but this is probably still cheaper to buy 5 of, because I'm all about that min-maxing efficiency. Now I can buy this and it's worth it, but again, it's almost worth it to buy that one. Whatever the case, 22 per click. I don't know where he got the giant cleaver, but he has a giant knife on his back. And we're gonna add 10 per second. Who doesn't love passive income? Look at that number going up. We're 1,000 there already. He's turned purple. He's got a rather serious look on his face these days. And we're in the 2 times category, 24 per second, 44 per click. His shoes turned white after 10,000 points from clicking. It's honestly so much going on over here that I'm getting distracted and forgetting to actually buy upgrades. Well, that turned him green, so things are getting serious, and he's got cuffs on. You know what? We'll just enjoy the ride. Let the game speak for itself. But for only $7,500, I can get 100 per click, and we're already there. 244 per click with our doubler bonus. And that didn't take long to pay for itself, so we're going to buy that one more time and one more time again. 644 per click. We'll be a millionaire in no time. Capybara pump. That sounds like something we need to buy. 25,000, that gives us 200 per second, so we better buy that twice. Almost 1,000 capybaras per second passively. He also has a tail and a Sherlock Holmes hat, so we're really making progress. I think most of my income is still going to come from clicking though, so we're going to buy that many. We're up to 1,444 per click. A few upgrades and one small progress reset later, we've got our first $100,000. The bigger the numbers get, the more knives he gets also. I'm not sure what the correlation is there, but my goal is to turn him into a porcupine. $150,000 for 1,000 per click. 1,500 per click, and I can use an auto clicker. Plus that doubles to 3,000, so the numbers get really big. We just hit 100,000, we're about to hit 1 million already. So I feel like this is going to get awfully breakable. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our king clicker that many times. Take a second to admire the butterflies, and then when we go like this, 11,000 per click. Then we can get the Capybara factory, 5,000 per second, costs $400,000 each, so we can only buy a few of those. But in the background now, 25,000 per second, every 4 seconds, 100 grand. And he's got proper feet now, like a real creature. So it's easy to make many millions of dollars already, so I get the Emperor clicker. We'll buy that a few times, 64,000 per click. He's very happy about that. He's not an emperor though, he's got a chef's hat on. And no one in charge of anything was ever able to cook. And now we have a barrel on the side of our back and a raccoon tail. The excitement continues. We're going to buy some more Capybara factory. That's going to put us up to 60,000 passively. Now we have frog hands. I'm honestly just here to see what this thing turns into at this point. The upgrades do get expensive though. This is already $12 million, so it's going to take like 2 seconds to pay for that. And then we can buy a few more levels of that. We just gained something uncommon. We've gained a few uncommon things. But I feel like this whole situation in general
is quite uncommon.
Another Capybara pyramid, that's going to add another 25,000 per click, so we're up to 65,000 with our bonus. Without the auto clicker, it would be a little bit tedious to get to the next upgrade. So our clicking is currently at 65,000, we can fix that. Now we're a zombie, we're getting 154,000. So it looks like the different achievements we get for different things definitely gets us new stuff. Like we've created whatever this is. This looks like something I would normally create, I just did it accidentally. But I'm curious to see what happens if we spend $4 million on the most basic of upgrades. Is that going to be an achievement that unlocks something? We have a hard hat. And red Crocs. Well, you can't be too careful. We also have a scorpion tail and double wings. So for 50 cursor upgrades, we got a scorpion tail. Whatever the case, I take no responsibility for whatever it is we've created. We made another $20 million, so let's get another upgrade. I'm really excited for the next upgrade that's basically hand is flipping us off. That was just a common one. Poke clicker, 75,000 per click. So that's going to help us out. 320,000 per second and 360,000 in total per click. So if we let the auto clicker go, we'll just bathe him in numbers. That feels very satisfying. Then we can buy another poke clicker. But we get new stuff when we get level 5 of things. So we have an antenna. That way he can detect the stupidity. But you can never have too many Pope clickers. Those are getting expensive. So we got about $200 million. I want to go back and buy the basic ones again. I want to see what the next rare upgrade is, if anything. We did get a B rear for 75 upgrades. So it should be just a second. And he's throwing up everywhere. Okay. Should be just a second before we get 100. I've gained a total of 1 billion capybara points from clicking. So that's fun. It was really the auto clicker doing all the work. And full disclosure, it's still the auto clicker doing all the work. Few more levels of that, we're getting closer to level 100. He keeps throwing up and I cannot figure out why. I don't actually care, I'm just curious. Well, clearly it's going to take a while before we can get that thing to level 100, so we're going to buy more Pope clickers. We can only afford 2, but that's fine. 2 Pope clickers gives us 1.1 million per click. We're clicking so quick that the numbers are actually covering this masterpiece we've created. It'd be a shame not to let the world see this thing. Capybara Temple, 250,000 per second, so that put our income almost way up. Now he's very happy dancing on the ground. Our current multiplier is only 1 times for ascending too, so I'm not sure when that kicks in. But I've got plenty of time, don't you worry about it. We're doing something right because he's thrown up again. We almost have the 900 million we need for another Capybara Temple that's going to put us up to 500,000 per second in the background. Or more like 1.4 million. 1.4 million per second plus the clicking, but the clicking is really where we're going to make our money. So let's spend $500 million on more Pope clickers, which is 1. But then we can quickly save up enough for 2, and then the clicking power is 1.4 million. And we're officially billionaires, so we're going to buy 2 more Pope clickers, and then we're up to 1.7 million. We'll also stop periodically to take a look and see what we've created. I make no apologies. Clearly this was designed by one incredible genius. Pretty sure it's going to be a clicker next for $4 billion, and it looks like a hedgehog. Yep, even with an auto clicker, it's starting to slow down just a little. What is that thing? That was a free something, billions of dollars. Okay, super clicker, 600,000 per click. Got it. That was a nice boost, 3 million per click. So we've essentially doubled our clicking power. Things are still getting slow, but they're not as slow as I am. We saved up another 4.8 billion, so that means we could buy another super clicker. Now we're at about 4.1 million per click, and that feels pretty good. I'm a little bit curious to see what happens when we get this to level 5, and that's just going to help our income anyway. I don't know what we just added, maybe a new dance move, but we're now wearing like wooden sandals, we're holding a butcher knife, and we have a lizard dragon tail. I also feel like it makes sense to take this $5 billion and go back to the beginning and see if we can get this to level 100. Well, we're getting closer. Even getting up to level 90 has given us like kitty paws. And a well-dressed capybara is a happy capybara. 7.7 billion should be enough for the next 4 levels, so we're finally going to get level 100 something. And for that, we're getting a rare that. I guess it's like a chastity belt. That's probably what that is. Anyways, we're back to harassing this creature. We're forcing him to dance until he pukes. If we're lucky, we can make him dance until he dies, but we'll see. I guess it makes sense to upgrade our clicker since it's our moneymaker. That does add a lot, 5.3 million per click, and there's a lot of clicks. And we get this temple up to level 5, that should unlock us a new background. It's very psychedelic. I think we're currently a tiger capybara, which is rare. Working our way down, we have epics and then legendaries. I suspect this one's not actually a capybara, but only time will tell. We're 10 billionaires. Wait, what did that give us? Do we have butterfly wings? I think we turned into a butterfly. To be honest, I have no idea what we've created, but he's living his best life. Upgrades are sure starting to take a long time to get, but we can still spend $26 billion buying 3 upgrades. And that put us up to 9 million per click, which is a lot of income. I should maybe work my way backwards and buy all the previous clickers, because not only is that going to unlock us cool new things that make us more fun, but it's got to add at least a little bit of income. We're over 10 million, so that is actually making a difference. So now we need to spend $4 billion on king clickers, which is actually a lot of them. And we'll spend $4.5 billion on president clickers, which is also a lot of them. And this is what we have. Again, I apologize for nothing. We've officially gained $100 billion from clicking, and this is what we have to show for it. But the next logical step is to buy another clicker upgrade, twice. And then we're going to go back to auto clicking, at which point we're going to be making almost $13 million per click. So we're going to let it run here, making $13 million per click for a long time. Turns out you can make $89 billion before the game crashes. And apparently not only did it crash, it wound back a bit of a progress. but we can put that right back on, 10 million capybaras per second. We can also greatly increase our clicker power again. But good news, the game crashed again at 275 billion. I very slowly and painfully saved up the $300 billion I need for the clicker. We are also now a tortoise, so I'm going to buy that. That's going to add 60 million to my clicking power. So as I click now, it's at 140 million per second, so the billions are going to add up quite quickly. I mean, 10 clicks is $1.4 billion, and we're clicking pretty quickly. So while we're at it, let's do that again and essentially double our clicking power. 260 million every single click. And I've officially gained 1 trillion points from clicking. And one more clicker upgrade. Now we're making like $20 billion a second, and that's the kind of progress I can get behind. So maybe there's one more clicker upgrade, and with that we're actually very close to 500 million per click. But that's not good enough. We need to be certified trillionaires. And that gave me mole hands. What we can do with that kind of money is add 500 million capybaras per second passively. So even without clicking now, we're making $1 billion every couple seconds. But since our income still comes from clicking, we're going to upgrade that 2 more times. Now it's about $750 million per click, so we're making tens of billions of dollars a second. And as long as we have a bonus going, we're actually making $1 billion per second passively. Which probably helps a little bit, but it's still all in the clicker. Just 2 more upgrades later, and we basically add $1 billion per click. So we're making, I don't know, 50 billion per second. $3 trillion later, I still think it's worth it to upgrade the clicker 2 more times, and that put us to level 10, so we get an umbrella hat. And whatever this is. And we broke it again. Well, since the game clearly doesn't have auto clickers, let's ascend for 10 times. Now we look like this, but instead of 1 per click, we're getting 11. So I feel like we'll be able to speedrun our way through this, given that we've already just unlocked the first 4 levels. So whenever we unlock a clicker, we'll just auto click on it, and we'll just repeat that process, and you know what? We're already making millions of dollars. Okay, we're already a 5 millionaire, soon coming up on 10 millionaire, and we haven't even bought the, well, we can just go right over the king clicker to emperor clicker. Now we're a 10 millionaire. This is happening about as quickly as I'm recording it. So we go down to Pope Clicker, only 1 of those, but we're hundreds of millions. And we'll buy a few more of those, and then we're already billionaires. So I have this strategy. We just use an auto clicker to completely ruin the game. But I'm already back to the super clicker. We could buy that twice already. Now look at our earnings. But even now at this point, it does still take a second to get to where we're going. But it is 11 times faster than it just was, and you really feel the difference. We can already buy the clicker again. That's gonna help us out. We are already back to being trillionaires. This took like 45 seconds. I didn't even realize I can already buy more of the clicker. So that put our click power up to 5.5 billion. 3 more levels basically doubled it to 11 billion per click. So also, this is what a $1 trillion capybara looks like. He has bananas for feet. My ascension points are all the way up to another 10 times, and we have spiky wheels for feet. Yeah, we have the $35 trillion we need for the final clicker. And we finally have the 35 trillion we need to add 7 trillion per click. And I think we turned into a horse. Anyways, now we'll really get the earnings. We're up to 154 billion per click, and we're clicking a lot. We've let the game run for a few minutes, and this is what we've turned into, but we also have $181 trillion. That's definitely enough for a capybara galaxy. And also some capybara suns. Only 2 of them, but that puts our clicker power way up to 15 billion. Which means we're making about $1 trillion per second. I didn't even buy a capybara Earth along the way because it seemed stupid. I just realized that these are all per second. These don't actually affect the click. The only one that affects the click is the clicker itself. And that's really just very sad, but this is what hundreds of trillions of dollars will get you. But it's funny because you can just keep stacking your multiplier. So instead of starting with 11 clicking power, it's now 21. So it's double what we just had. So it's not likely to take very long at all to buy all the upgrades and then more for hundreds of trillions or even quadrillions of dollars. Well, we'll leave him running like this for the next 10 years and then we'll be rich.